So we're here with Richard, who has shown me how to make flour. I'm going to try this by myself. Basically, we were making the common noodle that would be used internationally. This is called ramen noodles. And so we're going to start with 4 ingredients. You have your 190 grams of water, and you have not chocolate. This is sodium carbonate sodium, which is 4
grams.
4 grams, which is the Indonesian name is kanswe. Then you have 5 grams of salt, and then you have over here your 500 grams of flour. So what we're going to start with is your water, and mix the salt and the sodium carbonate together. This is the sodium carbonate that we put in here. We want to mix this until it's dissolved. The goal of dissolving this is to make sure that all the ingredients are diluted so that it can go through the flour when we combine everything. It's not going to be a clear content. It's probably have a little bit of a color to it, a white color. We're going to take the flour, 500 grams of flour, and we're going to just pour it out here in this bowl. Mix it one more time, and we're just going to pour it in the center. So the goal is to use these chopsticks, or a spoon if you want to, is to slowly mix it so that you don't activate the flour with the water content. And so what we're doing is mixing this so that we have an even mix of the flour and the contents until it gets to be fluffy. It's getting there. This is probably about a minute or 2 minutes worth of mixing. We got to remember, this is my first time doing this, and I hope I'm doing it right. So when it's still a little sticky right now. We're going to take this off. We can put that there. And so now what we're doing is we're just mixing it, just making it fluffier until it all combines on its own. We're doing this for the main purpose of the fact that we don't want to activate the flour and the water just yet. We want it to
activate the gluten.
The gluten. Yeah. And when it's all even, it's almost like this, it's still a little bit wet. Not wet, but it's still a bit, we're working uneven. Yeah. There you go. It's not necessary to be fast, but just to be good. Yeah. It seems like everything is almost even there.
Almost there, but not yet.
Not yet. What am I looking for, Richard?
Is the evenness of moisture.
Okay, moisture. So if it's a little bit wet, then it's not ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's still working it. You have to, it's not how fast can you get it done, but how good can you get it done. One of the reasons why we're choosing to do how to make noodles is for several purposes. One is that this has an organic content. So you're actually not getting the pesticides or the preservatives that you find in packaged noodles. And so that's one. And number 2 is can save some cost compared to rice or other staple food. And so we're giving an option of how to save some money, especially when you're feeding the masses like what we're doing here, is the purpose of being able to provide these noodle machines to Islamic boarding schools throughout Indonesia. And this would be the first one, first 4 would be actually in Ambon, Maluku, on the east side of Indonesia. Okay, so now just grab it and squeeze it and put it together. Press it, but not too fast, but just enough to make it happen and make it into a ball. Your goal is that it ties together, and then once we're done with pressing this together as a ball, then we're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes so that it can, what does it do when it sits for 20 minutes?
Rest and even moisture again.
So we're going to collect it all up. This is not too difficult if you're a beginning cook or interested in any kind of work behind a kitchen counter. It just takes a little bit of practice to make sure you know what you're doing. So there's 2 ways you can cover it up. You can either put it back in the plastic that it came in, Or you can just cover it up like this with another bowl.
So it
and
won't
set
dry
aside,
out.
so it won't dry out, and you set it aside for 20 minutes. Welcome to Harris's cooking lessons. No.